Hey, just a short message before the video starts. This video is part of an experiment that I am running on this new channel, where I see what happens when I upload the same content and the same style of content to a brand new channel to see if the algorithm actually decides to pick me up or not. This experiment does not work if you do not interact with this video, so please, if you would, like the video, subscribe with bell notifications if you have not, and once you're done watching the video, make sure to leave a comment. I don't necessarily care what you comment, but if it's about the video, YouTube will probably like that more. Additionally, make sure to share these videos around to various circles that you think might be interested in them, especially furry communities, because, they are very supportive, and I am that. These first few videos will be re-uploads of the few videos I posted on the main channel, but as this experiment goes on, I will be uploading original content to this channel that will likely not be on the main channel. If you've already watched this video, I would suggest just putting it on the background on low volume just to have it run through, because watch time is another important analytic for video stuff. But I will appreciate if you just decide to like the video and leave a comment. You could just do that extra little thing of just watching through the video again, and watching in quotes, because you could just totally put it on the background. I do background listening content anyway. With the blurb out of the way, I will let you go on to the video. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video around. This experiment is nothing without you. Hey, what's up, pups? It's Vixie. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope it only gets better. I almost had the intro, but we'll roll with it. Censor that out. I am a furry, if you could not tell from the profile picture, the name, or the fact that I have my fur affinity linked on my Linktree, which is down in the description. On top of that, I'm also a YouTuber, and this makes me fully qualified to delegate which Fursona species are better than others. That's just how it works. I'm sorry if this is how you're finding this out. So, I am going to, once again, foray into the wonderful and cringe world of tier list making. And today, the tier list we are going to be making is my very own Fursona species tier list. Yeah. Every other tier list video I've ever done, I've always just used someone else's because I was too lazy to make one. But a few months ago, I had an idea for a fun video that might be kind of fun. Great redundant statement. You did awesome. And so I decided, hey, what if I finally make my own tier list, huh? I mean, that's something I could do. And so, with the help of the tag list of a very specific blue website, which if you're a furry, you probably know which one I'm talking about, I went ahead and made what I believe to be the most comprehensive and inclusive list of all Fursona tier lists. Because a while ago, I did just kind of look through to see if anyone else has made a Fursona species tier list. There we go. And I'm pretty sure I found some. I'm too lazy to look it up now because I've already have this up and this video started. But I'm pretty sure the main reason I decided to make one was because I didn't feel like the ones that were already here were inclusive enough, as well as, I could put in my own pictures and I will know specifically what they're talking about. And since this is my tier list that I made, and have ready access to, and all that sort of thing. I'm actually going to be linking this in the description if anyone else wants to make a Fursona species tier list. If you do, I guess at me on Twitter. My Twitter is in my Linktree as well. It's in the description, and show me what you're thinking of. I guess we'll finish off this preamble just by reading off the description I wrote. VixieYote's Fursona species tier list, an extensive list of a bunch of Fursona species I'm gonna rank in a video. Agumon is representing all Digimon, Nargacuga all Monster Hunter monsters, and the weird ones like Florin's SCP-1471 and the Flame Atronach are representing their concepts, in this case plant creatures, skull-faced species, and elementals. Also, the Fallout Centaur here is a joke. If we scroll down here, this is very extensive, by the way. This took a while. If you see up here, we have centaurs and then centaurs from Fallout. That is here just as a joke. I think we all know where I'm gonna put that. But as you can see, I put probably too much effort into making a very extensive Fursona species tier list. So purely by, I just saw one that I forgot about, purely by virtue of how absolutely massive this tier list is, I'm probably gonna keep the description and reasoning for when I'm ranking something to, I wanna say 3 sentences or less, just to try and compress this down a little bit, in hopes of making this not a 2-hour long video, and maybe it's gonna be a long video regardless. I don't even know why I'm bothering, but the more we trim this down, the better. And and that clapping is probably going to do an awesome effect to my noise gate. Without further ado, I think it's high time we get into this. So let's scroll back up here. As you can see, I have a few extra tiers just for funsies' sake. We have the usual S through F, but I also threw D in there as well, just for funsies' sake. Sort of like an American grading system with the addition of S tier. And then for any species that I particularly love, we have the S plus tier. If your fursona ends up in the S plus tier, let it be known that I think that you are awesome and are very likely attractive. With all that being said, though, I think it is high time we should probably get into this, because there is a lot to go through. Starting off, and thankfully this is in alphabetical order, we have alpacas. I can think of exactly one person that I've ever seen with an alpaca persona, and I don't know their name because they showed up in a single video of a streamer I used to watch, but I think it's pretty cool. You're fluffy, probably friendly. I like it a whole lot. I think this is a good start with a nice B tier right in the middle. Ankylosaurus specifically. This is a thing that I did not realize was a thing until I actually went through the tags on the Mysterious Blue website, and yeah, apparently people have made Ankylosaurus personas before, which is cool because Ankylosaurus is my second favorite dinosaur. With that being said, Ankylosaurus is gonna go A tier. Very cool. Argonian, one of the coolest species you can pick in Elder Scrolls. Very cool, mostly because it's one of the farthest from being human, and therefore boring. However, depending on how original you are with your Argonian Sona, it can range from, we'll say, lower A tier to high C tier. If you're unoriginal and you put them in a maid outfit, you're in C tier. But in general, I would say you're around B tier. Avali, a race that I am pretty sure was specifically born from a Starbound mod, which is cool. Starbound's fun. Avali are mostly known nowadays for like VR chat and stuff, because there's that same Avali avatar that someone made. I don't know. I haven't been in VR chat in a while, but Avali are getting a resurgence in VR chat, and I think that's kind of cool. They're fluffy space raptors. I think they're pretty neat. If I'm being honest though, the specific model used for the Avali avatar in VR chat just looks a little off, and something about its teeth always looked weird to me. But in general, I would say Avali, you're maybe a little bit higher than Argonian. Bats. Bats are fun. I love bats. They used to be my favorite animal, but my favorite animal has shifted because, you know, I had a lot of growing up to do and my tastes changed. But I still love bats a whole heck of a lot, whether they be vampire bats, they're insectivores, if they're fruit bats are typically much cuter. Just because, you know, fruit bats in real life are typically much cuter than bats. Non-fruit bats are an acquired taste, but all in all, I like bats a whole lot. They're fun, and most bat sonas I have seen have also been fun. So we'll say right behind a Ankylosaur. Bat pony. Yes, I'm also including pony sonas in here as well. I didn't know bat ponies were a thing, because I'm not a brony, or what the female version is Pegasister, isn't it? Or is that like an unofficial term? I don't know. I'm not either of those. So I know basically nothing about My Little Pony. Nor do I care, but bat ponies, I think they are kind of fun. We'll say lower B tier. Bears, not really my thing, because, you know, purely for the term associated with the animal, bears are usually big, muscle gut, hairy, gay dudes, and gay dudes don't really do anything for me, because I am a trans female, so gay dudes don't have any interest in me, so go figure. But, just from a design standpoint, bears, they're alright. We'll say mid to like the lower part of mid B tier. Bees! Bees are a lot of fun. As much as I would love to put bees in B tier just for funny's sake, I really like bees. Basically every bee sona I've ever seen has just been absolutely delightful, even if they are just like a little bit unoriginal, where they're like the same bee colors, or maybe they're like pink, I don't know, but regardless of how unoriginal or not they are, bee sonas are a lot of fun. Bees are great. Well, I think that's actually our first S tier. I really like bees. Keeping up the good vibes with birds. I do have some other things here that like go into specifics, but for birds that typically just look like birds, like blue jays and like cardinals or like blackbirds and stuff like that, I just kind of lumped all of those into birds specifically, which, if you know me, you're already an S tier. Let's put that a little bit higher. Actually, yeah, no, birds. There are specific types of birds that I like more than just birds, but I think birds on a whole are still just gonna go in S plus tier. I love birds. Bugs, insects and such. Ooh, creepy crawly. I'm entomophobic. I do not like bugs in real life. I've warmed up to spiders, but not bugs. Bugs just, ugh. They come in so many different freaky shapes and sizes. No, you're not getting pictures. That I can't adjust to them. There are specific bugs that are less offensive than others to my entomophobia, but most bugs are a fat no for me. That being said, bug characters I actually really like, if my placing of bees was any indicator. Granted, honeybees, like this one in the picture, are adorable out of the gate, which is weird because they're bugs. They are still bugs and still trigger my entomophobia just a little bit. They're adorable, like a lot of moths. So they can be a bit better than bugs for my phobia. But bugs in general, still good, so long as they are anthropomorphized. If they're just bugs, I don't want anything to do with it. Bunnies. Bunnies are good. Bunnies are typically cute because, you know, bunnies are cute out the gate, so you kind of just can't go wrong there. Okay, I need to put myself on Do Not Disturb on Discord because this is killing me. I would say most bunny sonas I've run into have been wholly unoffensive because, you know, it's one of the personas that is relatively common because it's a pretty safe bet. I wouldn't say they particularly do anything for me. I don't actively go out looking for bunny sonas or anything like that, and I don't even think I have a bunny character in mind. I would say lower B tier. Speaking of relatively common and a very safe bet, dogs. Or I guess because of where it is in the list, that's probably canids in specific. Which I just did a quick look through the C section of my tier list, and coyotes aren't here, so this includes me. Canids are the most common pick for persona, for good reason. Most everyone likes dogs. They're a very safe bet. It's why they are the most commonly picked persona species. Even though lumping it is kind of cheating a little bit. Even when someone's persona is a wolf or a coyote or a fox or a specific breed of dog, usually they will just refer to themselves as dog anyway. So I feel like it's safe to lump them together under the whole of canids. And I would say, despite how unoriginal it is to be a canid, it's S tier. It's good for a reason. It's safe, it's unoffensive, it's just generally good. Caribou, or reindeer, because they're the same thing. Remember how I mentioned that my tastes changed and so did my favorite animal as I did a little bit of growing up? My favorite animal is reindeer. I really like them. I like them a whole lot. They're big fluffy elk and they make me happy. Similarly, S tier. Not quite high as birds because that is a tall ask, but S plus tier, absolutely. Every reindeer persona I have ever seen has ranged from absolutely adorable to incredibly handsome hunk man, which typically I don't really go for. Manly man isn't really the style of guy I go for, but I could appreciate a handsome dude, and that has definitely happened with reindeer before, so S plus tier. Cassowaries. Yeah, I threw this one in here particularly, even though cassowary specifically persona is very uncommon, purely because I wanted to voice my opinions on specific things. I love birds, every bird, unconditionally, with very few exceptions. One of those exceptions is cassowaries, because they scare the ever-living Christ out of me. These things are living dinosaurs, which you would think I would be all over. However, the thing about cassowaries is, I'm pretty sure they are the biggest bird in the world. I might be wrong, it might be ostrich. And much like ostrich and emus, they are full of hate and anger and rage and murderous intent. And if you ever hear about how angry emus and ostriches can be, cassowaries are that turned up to 10. And they also have just these giant talons. They will kill you in seconds. You do not fuck with cassowaries. They scare the Christ out of me. I do not like cassowaries. It's not a phobia. It is a fear. No thank you. Though they are really cool, and if your persona is a cassowary, you are very original. So I'm not gonna put you in F tier, but I will put you in D tier because you scare the Christ out of me. Joke thing. Yeah, this one, however, is F tier. No, the lore behind centaurs. No. The only reason I put this in here is because when I was scrolling through the tag list, next to Centaur, there was also Centaur with the, specification of from Fallout, and I went, ooh. And then the prospect of someone having a Centaur Sona, just kind of made me, a little bit, and, no. Threw it in here for laughs. It's F tier. It's always F tier. There's nothing good about it, at all. Centaurs. Now, I can't, did I put Taurs in here specifically? I don't think I did. Yeah, okay, so just Taurs. I think I mentioned in my cryptid tier list video that taurs don't really do anything for me unless they're like specifically deers, which I guess with that specification, they aren't going to be too low, but given the stuff that I have seen, there's a lot of weird stuff that also show up when there are taurs. They're just associated with a lot of weird fringe, like, not fringe, but like it branches off into extra weird stuff that is like, ugh. So I will say this is our first C tier. Can range from okay to ceratopsians. Yeah, the great thing about me throwing in, like me making this tier list is I can throw in all of the various different dinosaur species and subspecies that I really like. Ceratopsians, this includes things like the Styracosaurus, the Triceratops, oh god, what's that really cool Japanese one? I don't remember. Either way, they're cool. I've seen a few, and the designs I've seen of the few Ceratopsian personas I've seen, they've been good. Very safe bet. A tier. I feel like most of the dinosaurs are probably gonna go in A tier. Changelings. I mentioned I wasn't a brony, or Pegasus, whatever, and I know nothing, and I don't care about My Little Pony, because it's just not my thing. However, because of me being a furry and partaking in furry media, we'll say, I have discovered one thing about My Little Pony that I do like. And that in particular, I can tell you by name, is Queen Chrysalis. I think her voice is really hot, and I've seen a lot of stuff of her that is really hot. The only upsetting thing that I don't really like is, I'd imagine this is probably just the case for most pony stuff, a lot of the stuff of Queen Chrysalis specifically gives her a dick. And I don't really like that. I am bi, so you'd think woman with penis would be, I'd be all over that, but no, I would prefer one or the other. But, with all that being said, she's still really hot. And she is a changeling, apparently, which I guess are like bug ponies? I don't know. If you're a brony, feel free to be specific in the comments, but I don't know. Either way, she's hot. Changelings largely are hot because she's the only one I really know. Going in A tier. Cheetahs. I like cats. Cheetahs are fun. Good. Yep, alright, good. A tier. Chimera. See, this is great, because you can either go with the quote-unquote historical description of a chimera, which is like the head of a lion, a goat, and third thing that I can't remember, and a scorpion tail, or it's just, a combination of multiple different animals. Depending on how you approach the descriptor, having a chimera persona can be a really good creative outlet, and you can be really original and creative with your design. So I would say higher, we'll say a little bit higher than changelings. Chocobo. Chocobos are good. They're cute, they're safe, they're birds. Can't really go wrong. S tier. Put them behind bees, but above bugs, if I can. There we go. Chupacabra. Ooh, there's that cryptozoology interest I have popping up. Chupacabras can be really fucking cool personas. If you're, by and large, cryptid personas, super dope. I think that's gonna be top of S tier. I feel like I'm not sure how many cryptid stuff I put in this list, but if they're cryptids, they're probably going to be S tier. Just they're so fucking cool. Cobras. See, this is a cool thing. I didn't just lump all snakes into one blanket term of snake. I specified at least cobras from snakes because there are distinct design choices. Cobras in real life are one of my favorite types of snake. When it comes to furries, that doesn't change very much. However, I will note one thing about Cobra-sonas that have a recurring theme, and trust me, I have an extensive track record when it comes to viewing Cobra-sonas. I hate it when they make the hood excessively big, and I especially hate it when they make the hood heart-shaped. That drives me up the wall. When it looks like the cobra's hood is attached on to a normal snake, and it doesn't look like a cobra with a cobra hood, that drives me insane. And that happens a lot with specifically cobras. They are still going into S tier, but they're on the lower end because they can be done really good, or they can have those little details that just drive me insane. Cows. I love cows. They're adorable. This is also another really safe bet because I'm pretty sure most people like cows. One of the biggest reasons for people being vegan is just they like cows too much, which I totally understand. I'm not vegan. I'm still going to eat meat and consume animal products. But if your reasoning for being vegan is just you love cows too much, or just animals in general, Fair enough. This isn't a vegan debate, though. This is a fursona species debate. And cows are great, S tier. I think you're actually gonna go above chupacabra. Crocodilians. Ah, right, you see. I got a little bit confused because this is largely in alphabetical order, but there's some disparity here. But this first icon is for crocodilians in general, which are top of S tier. I love crocodilians. IRL and fursona species. Sorry, that burp snuck up on me. Crocodilians are S tier. They're awesome. They are living dinosaurs in the most awesome sense, which is to say they are what I wanted them to be when I was younger, and they are just really big killer lizards, and I think that's awesome. With that in mind, this is the disparity that wigged me out. This first one is crocodiles specifically. Crocodiles, good. Congratulations. They aren't a whole lot different to most crocodilians, as you would expect from the name. But there are distinct differences, and we'll come back to that. Actually, we'll do that right now, just because the list is wigged out as well. Alligators. I like alligators more than crocodiles. I know this is a really controversial stance to take, but alligators are better than crocodiles. Sorry, if you're a crocodile, I'm sorry to tell you this, but alligators are better. You're still good, but you're not as good as alligators. Alligators, I find, are just... It's a lot easier for an alligator to be cute than a crocodile. Crocodiles are big, scary, and intimidating. They're cool. Alligators are cute. They're tubby, round, and cute, and I love them. So crocodilians, crocodiles, and alligators are all S tier. Alligators come out on top. Corvids. Yep. Whip. S plus tier. Easy. Without question. One of the coolest types of birds in real life. A fairly common choice for bird sonas, and a really good choice for bird sonas. I love corvids. Deathclaw. Very cool. Very, very cool. However, very important to go with the Fallout 4 style of Deathclaw and not the 3 New Vegas style of Deathclaw, because the 3 New Vegas style of Deathclaw is weird. Whereas 4 is just it's a giant lizard dude, which is awesome. Deathclaws, I would say, are A tier. They're cool. I have not seen a whole lot of originality or variation in Deathclaw characters. They're mostly the same. Usually just big, buff dudes or ladies, or both, and it kind of ends there. If I've seen more originality with Deathclaws, they'd probably be S tier, but right now, they're a comfortable A. Deer, also another good choice. Like them a whole lot. We'll say a little bit behind bats. A generally safe choice, good, can't go wrong. Not one of my favorites. Well, that's a lie. They are one of my favorites. They're just on the, in the top 10, they're closer to 10. That's the best way I can put it. Hey, look, the dinosaur kid is showing up again. Deinonychus, specifically. Right there. If your fursona is specifically a Deinonychus, or any other specific type of theropod or ornithopod, you are also a dinosaur kid, and they are probably as anatomically accurate as you can get with a fursona, and I appreciate you. And also, I love raptors. Deinonychus is my favorite dinosaur, S plus tier. And we have Agumon here representing the whole of Digimon. Maybe not that high, but they're still going S tier. Maybe just behind cows. There's a lot of cool Digimon. There's a lot of Digimon that work very, very good as personas, especially the ones that are already anthropomorphic. So you just kind of have to put your own personal touch on a Weregarurumon and you're good to go. It's a safe bet. You can't go wrong. Digimon are great. S tier. Hey, dinosaur again. Dilophosaurus. I haven't seen a whole lot of these, but the few that I have been like, yeah, cool. And that's probably just because, dinosaur kid. And I appreciate it when when your Sona is not just nondescript dinosaur and specifically a species. I appreciate that. We'll go near the bottom of S tier, probably just behind Chocobo. Dolphins can range from really nice, really cool, really cute to, well, I didn't even know that fetish existed, which is weird. I don't know why it's specifically for cetaceans like dolphins and whales that get the more creative fetishes out of people, but with that in mind though, I have seen a lot of dolphin sonas that are also like inflatables, like pool toys and stuff, which is an aesthetic I like. I'm not so much into the inflation part of it that is almost inherent with the stylistic choice. I just think they're cute, but we'll get back to that in a second. Dolphins in general, I would say mid B tier. Donkeys. Most donkey sonas I've seen, which they're not a whole lot, but there are some, I've been just kind of about. And I don't like donkeys in real life because, if you don't know this, they are, generationally pressed against coyotes, I guess is the best way to put it. Donkeys hate coyotes and will kick the shit out of coyotes if they see them. A lot of people who have like livestock and stuff, like chickens and such, will keep a donkey around as a livestock guardian if there's coyotes in the area, because they will, without question, immediately just run over and kick the ever-living shit out of the coyote until it stops moving. Which, being a coyote and a person who loves coyotes in real life, person who loves coyotes in real life, not the coyote part, though I would not be opposed to that. I don't like donkeys. I understand coyotes are really fucking annoying and they kill chickens and stuff, but I love them too much. So you're not going in F tier, but you're going in D, right behind cassowaries. Actually, you know what? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and put you above cassowaries, because that is a hard ask. Dragons, another safe bet. Almost every single one of them is hot. Whoop. S+ tier without question. Ducks. So remember how I said that I love all birds unconditionally with very few exceptions? I'm not a fan of ducks. They're not offensive, they're not great. And I usually end up, when I'm looking through that mysterious blue website, I usually go out of my way to exclude ducks from when I'm looking at bird stuff. So I would say right behind Centaur in C tier. Elementals. Depending on how you approach making your fursona an elemental, it can be super cool. And I think just having, like, for most of these, like, descriptors rather than species, there is potential to make a super cool, super original fursona. And purely because of that, I think top of A tier is a great place to put it. I feel like top A tier is probably the lowest that the descriptors are going to go for me. Elephant. Uncommon, but appreciated. They're not my thing personally. I think elephants are cute. I probably won't end up making an elephant character, but I have nothing against elephant characters. So I think that is a great spot to put it, like in mid B tier. Perfectly fine, unoffensive, and decently original. Which, purely for that decently original stuff, I think I'm going to put it up with alpacas, actually. Emus, or emus if you're American, and I will henceforth be saying emu just because I am American. Of the giant angry bird flavor of bird, emus are the less offensive of them. Or I guess in this case it would be oppressive. Also decently original. I haven't seen a whole lot of people with emu fursonas. They're probably Australian. I think it's fun. I like it. They're not going to go up in S+ tier because, you know, the giant murder bird. But I think they're cool. We'll put them right behind deer. Ender dragons. Very uncommon for someone to have an ender dragon fursona. Usually it's just the ender dragon. Her name's Jean, by the way. But being someone who grew up on Minecraft and still loves Minecraft and especially likes the ender dragon and desperately wishes that we could hatch the ender dragon egg after beating the game, but that's probably never gonna happen. I like ender dragons a whole lot. I would say you're gonna go right above Digimon in S tier. Actually, you know what? Right above cows. You're hard pressed to get up, you know, with the crocodilians. Still good though. And purely because most of the Ender Dragon stuff is of specifically Jean, if you have an Ender Dragon fursona, that's pretty original, at least from what I can tell. Felids, felines, cats. Ooh. I've mentioned this in the past, I think. Yes, I think I have. And again in the cryptid tier list video. When it comes to furry stuff, I like cats a whole lot. Like a whole lot. I like cats in real life too, but there's a very important disparity between how I like cats in real life and how I like furry cats. Very important. And since we're talking about furry cats in this particular, boop, above Deinonychus and above dragons, cats, great. Ferrets. For those few people who have a ferret fursona, you're going to appreciate this a whole lot. You're all fun, you're all great, you're all very cute, and I like you. Just like real ferrets, you're just kind of amazing. Fish. I have not seen a whole lot of fish sonas. Sharks, sure, those are fish. But specifically non-shark fish, like goldfish and trout and salmon. Never really seen that before, so I feel nothing, but they are original, so maybe like just behind Argonian and B tier. Foxes. Ah, yes. Common fursona species. So many foxes. And for good reason. Everybody likes foxes. They're adorable, they're great. Those videos of like either foxes in like rehab centers or like domesticated foxes are adorable, even though I'm sure they are an absolute nightmare to live with. But foxes just in general are great. And I'm actually quite partial to fox sonas. They might be unoriginal, they might be boring, they're definitely overplayed. I still like them a whole heck of a lot. Going right behind bees in S tier. You put on those striped thigh highs and you rock them. Fruit bats. Where's bats? Just regular, like normal, everyday bats. In A tier. So we'll put them just in front of normal bats, just because they're a lot easier to be made cute. Snails. Why are snails here? They're mollusks. Okay, you know what? Whatever. Some stuff did definitely get goofed up when I was importing these pictures because they were alphabetized, but you know, it got screwed up. So I guess we're doing snails now when we are in Fs. I really like snails. IRL, I love snails. They're adorable. I love them. Little squishy buddies. Don't squish them, they'll die. I haven't seen a whole lot of snail personas, slime sonas, but purely because snails in real life are really cute, you can make snail sonas really, really cute. And I appreciate cute sonas. S tier. Where is it going though? I'm thinking right behind ferrets. Geckos, very fine. Lizard, good. Lizards are great. I don't have a whole lot to say about specifically geckos. I would say safe bet, fine, totally good. We'll say just behind cheetahs in A tier. Oh wow, this list is going to be huge, but we're getting there. Ghosts, another descriptor, and as would be expected, probably going right behind elementals in A tier. Ghosts, cool descriptor. It is definitely the one you can be less creative when it comes to descriptors, but there's still a fair bit of creative wiggle room when making a ghost sona. Giraffes, I would say generally good. However, whenever someone is making a giraffe sona and they really lean into, you know, the giraffe thing of having a huge neck and they have like a proportionally huge neck on their otherwise anthropomorphic character, I feel like when you anthropomorphize a giraffe, it's decently important to anthropomorphize the size of the neck and like make it proportionally large. So maybe it's just someone with a notably like long neck and not like a giraffe neck taped onto a person. But when that like proportional thing I mentioned comes into play, I would say decent and fairly original. So I would say just above alpaca and B tier. Goats, I would say again, pretty safe. I've also seen a whole bunch of really cool goat sona designs, so I would say bottom of A tier. Goo creatures being represented by Gumi. A lot like dolphins, there's a lot of weird fringe fetish stuff when people have goo creature personas, which I'm not particularly the big fan of. But much like inflatables, I would say it's a decently fun choice and I don't mind it. So long as it's not specifically doing the weird like fringe fetish stuff that I'm not into, I would say otherwise unoffensive. So I would say mid B tier, probably just above fish. Griffins, very, very cool. This used to be my favorite mythical creature. I love griffins, and I still do, because in a lot of cases, they are essentially dragon birds, and those combine two of my favorite things. So, good. Very good. And just as an added note, most griffin sonas really take the fact that they are, you know, a hybrid in mind with, you know, being a bird and a cat and like giving it like feathery dragon wings and stuff. And they make their griffin sona very fluffy. And I appreciate fluffy things, if my second favorite legendary being Reshiram is anything to go off of. S tier. Above crocodilians and crocodiles, but behind alligators. Hadrosaurs, like the humble Parasaurolophus. Yep, we're back to dinosaur stuff. Good. Cute. I appreciate. Very nice. I usually tend towards carnivorous when, you know, just my preferences for dinosaurs in general, hence why my favorite dinosaur is Deinonychus. But my second favorite dinosaur is Ankylosaurus, which is an herbivore. So I'm not opposed to herbivores. There is an alternate timeline where my favorite dinosaur is Ankylosaurus. So with that in mind, you're actually going above Ankylosaurus and just above foxes, because I've seen a lot of Parasaurolophus and like other Hadrosaur characters, and they're always really cute, and I appreciate that. Ah yes, the harpy eagle. For the people who know me and know specific things about me, you already know where this is going. I didn't mean to scroll up all that way, but here we are. Top of S+ tier. I love harpy eagles. Almost my favorite bird. Most of my favorite birds are eagles, with the martial eagle being my number one, or eagle adjacent like the peregrine falcon. So I guess the simplest way to put it is most of my favorite birds are raptors. And looking at the furry side of things, just, you know, looking away from my interest in, you know, real life animals and zoology and stuff, I have a very specific interest. And you know what I mean when I say specific interest. And the thing about harpy eagles is, well, let's just say they really indulge in that interest for me. And I love them a whole lot for it. Am I going to keep what I'm talking about that vague right now? Yeah. Is it going to be a lot less vague and very other stuff? Talking about furry stuff here. This is a furry tier list made by me for my ranking. Harpy eagles are top of S+ tier. Hedgehogs. Let's get this out the gate and say 95% of hedgehog sonas are directly Sonic OCs, which is fine. I like Sonic a whole lot. I don't have a Sonic OC, and I haven't really had the interest in making a Sonic OC, aside from, like, I guess, character creation in Sonic Forces. But just kind of pushing aside the Sonic thing and just looking at hedgehogs, I would say it's fairly original. And especially original if you have a hedgehog persona that is not tied to Sonic in any way. That's super original. On top of hedgehogs just being generally cute, I would say that's a safe bet to put in like mid-A tier. Hellhounds, you're going up maybe just... Oh, wow. Oh, wow, there's a dilemma. We'll put it there for a second. Do I like hellhounds more than cats? Yes. But if Hellcats were a thing in here, which I guess I could include in, you know, I'm gonna lump just hell creatures in general. So like evil goats and hellcats and hell dogs and stuff. Do I like those more than crows? I think I do. I think I do. They're really cool. And like, got so many hellhound characters I've seen have just been insanely hot. Yeah. Not quite harpy eagles, but if there's like a hellbird harpy eagle, I guess is the best way to put it, just hellhound but harpy eagle out there, I think I would explode. And that would probably be just like, I would make double S+ tier for that. Horses. Yeah, horses are just one of those species that I don't really feel anything about. They don't do anything for me, and there's a lot of people that get really super weird about it. So I would say, fittingly, C tier right above centaurs. We have so much to go already, and I've already been recording for 50 minutes. Huskies. Much like huskies, IRL, they are adorable. They're a safe bet. Everybody loves huskies. My grandma has a husky named Zumi, and she's great. My brother doesn't have a husky. He has an Alaskan Malamute named Cyrus, and he's great and fluffy for the short time that he lived here with me. In general, safe bet, very adorable, love them a whole lot. Way overplayed, but for good reason. We'll say just above snails. I like huskies a whole lot. IRL and personas, I like huskies. Hydras being represented by my boy King Ghidorah. Yeah, they're a fringe off of dragon characters, and I will say there is potential to be like really creative with having the three heads having their own different personalities, but most people just end up going with like the super happy one, the scared one, and the angry one, which purely from that, there's a little bit less originality actually out there, but there is potential to be decently original with a Hydra character. I do like them. I think they're pretty cool. We'll say just behind elementals in A tier. Hyenas. I like hyenas a whole lot. One of my close friends is, he's got an irrational fear of hyenas, but I'm sure he would tell you that it is very much a rational fear, which I can corroborate a little bit. They can get to pretty nasty IRL. But just speaking from my own personal experience and my own personal bias, I like hyenas a whole lot. I think they're cute, they make funny noises, and ignoring how, for whatever reason, hyenas are like, in the furry scene, are always associated with musk and stink, which I do not like. Ignoring that, almost every hyena character I have ever seen has been hot. So, not going in S+ tier, purely because of the weird association with smelling bad, specifically in the furry scene. Maybe they smell bad? They probably smell bad in real life. They're scavengers, they definitely smell bad in real life. But either way, with that in mind, they're not going in S+ tier, but they're still going in S tier. Maybe just behind griffins. Nah, just behind crocodiles. Not going behind crocodilians, because that also includes gharials, and gharials are just weird. Throw up a picture of a gharial. Look at this thing. Look how goofy he is. Iguanas, another safe lizard bet. I do like iguanas a lot more than geckos, though. Probably because they're bigger. So I would say just behind fruit bats. I have seen a fair few like really cool iguana characters. Inflatables. As I mentioned, I really like the aesthetic, not so much the inflation fetish association. But I do like inflatable characters. I think they're cute, they're a lot of fun. They can be particularly annoying if they're really into the squeaky aspect of inflatable characters, which I'm not a fan of. But on a whole, I do really like inflatable characters. So I would say let's put our little pool buddy friends in A tier, just behind Ankylosaurus. And actually, you know what? I am going to move down Deathclaws just a little bit. Jackalopes. By and large, they're just kind of rabbits with antlers. But the antlers do add something. Sybil is super cool. I like her a whole lot. I don't have Pseudo-Regalia, but that is on my list to play, and I'll probably play it for a video. Good. Generally good. You know what? Purely for Sybil, I'm going to put Jackalopes like right behind Hydras in A tier. Sybil herself is like S+ tier. But Jackalopes in general, decent. Good. Jays, in this case, Blue Jay. Birds, good. I've seen a lot of Jay characters that are just very good, very nice, unoffensive. On the whole, good. And with it being a bird, that automatically puts it in S tier, but it's going to be on S+ tier. It's going to be on the bottom end of that. Very good because it's a bird, but there are better options. Kangaroos. So many Aussie furries picking the obvious choice of kangaroo or dingo. I don't blame them. Maybe it's just because I'm not Australian, but I find it a lot of fun when someone either who is an Australian and makes their persona a kangaroo or dingo, or just someone makes an excessively Australian character and makes that a kangaroo or a dingo that is excessively Australian. I find that a lot of fun. There's not a whole lot of originality when it comes to, you know, kangaroos, because most of them are just made excessively Australian. They are fun, and I do appreciate them. We'll say just behind iguanas in A tier. Komodo dragons. Monitor lizards are cool. You know what happens when you want to make a monitor lizard even cooler? You make it huge, and then you get a Komodo dragon, which are awesome. I'm gonna put that in S tier, right behind or in front of crocodilians. Alligators are still hanging out at the very top of S tier, but there's a good amount of disparity between crocodilians, crocodiles, and alligators up here. All of them are good, but they're spread out a decent amount. Leopards. If you couldn't tell how much I like felids, there's a good amount of variation in the specific type of felids I put in here, and that is for good reason. Leopards, good. Snow leopards are really good, which I forgot that I also included in here, but I can see them down there being all sneaky. Leopards in general are good. I like them a whole lot. Maybe right behind bees in S tier. Lions, actually on the lower end of my affinity for cat characters. Mostly because most of them were just really into Lion King when they were growing up, and the reason they are probably a furry and the reason they have a lion persona is probably the notorious lion fuck me eyes scene, which, fair enough. But for me specifically, even in real life, I'm not too keen on lions. I used to be super into lions because, you know, I'm a Leo. I was born in August. So when I was a babe, most of the stuffed toys I would get would be of lions. And because of that, I had a very large inclination to lions, but that has since faded. They are good because they are cats. I still like them, but they're on the lower end. We'll put them right behind Dilophosaurus in S tier. Lizards. Yep, we have another catch-all here. And by and large, lizards are good. I just, in general, like lizards, both IRL and with furry stuff. And depending on if you decide to go with an existing species, like iguanas or monitor lizards or whatever, or if you just go with lizard and you make your own species off of that, good, fun. I like it a whole lot. I'm gonna say right behind cows in S tier. Lombaxes. Uncommon, but appreciated. Ratchet & Clank is my favorite game series, and before I ended up making Snowy and then eventually Vixie, one of these species I was considering for my new persona was a Lombax. And I'm pretty sure I have the Minecraft skin I made of my Lombax character just knocking about in my PC somewhere. I was playing Rift Apart the other day. It has come to my attention how much I have been playing Rift Apart by the fact that I hit the bolt limit. I hit the maximum amount of bolts that you could have, and I have over 1,000 Raritanium. I've been playing that game too much, but I fucking love that game. Lombaxes, great. Love you a whole lot. You're going on top. You're not top of S tier, but we're gonna go right behind birds in S+ tier. No, right behind caribou in S+ tier, just because they're real. I can theoretically go and hug a reindeer. I can't theoretically go and hug a Lombax. Lynx, good. Good. Lynx are on the, we'll say, higher end of the middle of my appreciation for feeling characters, if that makes any sense. Lynx are cute, they're excessively fluffy because they live in cold places, and they have big wide stompers, and I like paws, so those big wide stompers are a plus for me. They're adorable, I like them a whole lot, and I think they're gonna go right above right. Oh, we're still climbing, and oh, still climbing. Oh, and you're right behind ferrets in S tier. That wasn't for a bit, by the way. That was actually, as I was going to place it, it kept climbing higher and higher in my head. Manticores. My brain started off immediately thinking dope down to eh. I'm not sure what's up with that, but purely from dope or eh, I would say that's probably low end of A tier. Maybe right above hedgehogs. Mantises. Remember how I mentioned I'm topophobic, but there are bugs that like I'm fine with? Mantises are one of that bugs. I like mantises a whole lot. It does depend on the species of mantis, specifically ghost mantises. Feel free to look up a picture. I won't be posting it here. Ghost mantises are a little bit too buggy for me, and they trigger my entomophobia pretty bad. But orchid mantises I absolutely love. And even though I'm not a big fan of ghost mantises because they trigger my entomophobia, I haven't seen them, but I'd imagine making a ghost mantis character, you could probably make that thing awesome. So I would say mantises on a whole, including orchid mantises, ghost mantises, and every other species of mantis, right behind griffins. I like anthromantises a whole hell of a lot. Mantled beasts. Yeah, this is, remember how I said this is extensive? I said that for a reason. Mantled beasts, which I'm pretty sure is largely another like VR chat species. I'm not sure. As I mentioned, I don't have VR, so I haven't been in VR chat in a while. And I don't know if this is just like a lesser known species that got more of a footing in VR chat. I don't know. On a whole though, I really like mantled beasts. I think they're super cool. I want to make a mantled beast character at some point, and there's another like quote-unquote VR chat species that I want to make a character of at some point, even though I don't have VR. We'll get to that in a second though. Mantled beasts right now, they're super cool. I love them. I wish they were more common. I wish they were appreciated more. They're right above mantises in S tier. I love mantled beasts. Right above tier maker. Thank you. Martins, like the pine martin, the absolutely adorable little ball of fluff murder, the pine martin. They are all adorable. I love mustelids so much. And purely like with that in mind, we're going with another S. God, there's so many S tiers, but just, like, there's so many good choices. S tiers just like right behind mantled beasts. I love mustelids, and martins are adorable. If you've never seen a pine martin before, treat yourself by looking it up. They're great. Merfolk. Not a big fan of merfolk, but they're not terrible. I have seen a few like merfolk and merfolk adjacent characters before that I do like. They're not my first choice. So I think this is like another like lower B tier, probably at the bottom of B tier. Purely because of where this is in the list. I'm guessing that's supposed to be monkey, but I went with the fucking the stinky orangutan. Orangutan, sorry, there's no G on the end. No. Above centaurs, because that is the easiest bar in the world to clear. There has not been a single monkey character of any like species, monkey, gray ape, or otherwise, that I have ever liked. Not a single one. I have actually unfollowed an artist on Twitter before just because he kept like posting this monkey character he had, and just I did not care. I hate monkeys in real life, and I don't like monkeys when they're anthropomorphized because they're still just monkeys, because they're already basically people. Monster Hunter monsters being represented by our boy Nargacuga. Appreciated, very cool. I like you. Rajang, I'm going to lump in with monkeys, and specifically he's going to be an F tier, but looking at other Monster Hunter monsters like Nargacuga, Barioth, Tigrex, of course I went with those three first, Zinogre, Gormagala, Sophijiva, Fatalis, just every other Monster Hunter monster, I would say where in S tier though? There's a lot of places I could put it in S tier. Oh, wait, right above Ender Dragon. Yeah, that seems right. Though I didn't specify it here, but if your persona / character is a Barioth, you are S+ tier. I love you. Moose, most likely Canadian. That's to be expected. Haven't actually seen a whole lot of Moose characters, but the few moose characters I have seen, I did like. I right-clicked and I don't know where it went. Where did it go? Ah, here it is. Okay. I accidentally right-clicked and the moose picture just disappeared. Okay, I would say good, potential to be very decent, like in terms of originality and just design. You can do cool stuff with a moose. So I would say right behind inflatables in A tier. Ah, yes. Mountain lions, pumas, cougars, whatever you want to call them, they're all the same thing. Cougars, I would say, are probably my favorite feline that is still in existence. I love them. They are absolutely gorgeous. They will 100% kill me, and I am sad about that every day, that I cannot just walk up to a cougar and give it a hug and take it home with me, because it will murder me. And if it doesn't murder me, it will murder everyone else around me, because they are, you know, predators, and big predators at that. But in general, I absolutely love them. And this extends to furry stuff as well. So, since we're talking about furry stuff, going in S+ tier, but the question is where? Right behind harpy eagles. Much like with the whole thing I mentioned when I was ranking the hell creatures, hellcat cougar, abso-fucking-lutely. Like double S+ tier. Mouse. This is a very important thing because I did differentiate mouse and rat because they are different things. And when a person is making a rat or mouse character, there are distinct design choices that help like differentiate between mouse and rat characters. And with this disparity in mind, much like in real life, I do not like mice, but I like rats. Mice, I absolutely hate. Rats, I'm particularly fond of. So, talking about furry stuff now with mice. I can't think of a mouse character I actually like. I can think of one. I can think of one mouse character I like, and all of the furries can feel free to laugh at me. I like Reggie. I've never said this person's name, like, username, like, out loud before. Wygina? Quigina? I don't know. Them. Their character Reggie. I like a whole lot. He's cute. I like him. Aside from Reggie, I do not like mice. So, with Reggie in mind, just to give it the benefit of the doubt, top of C tier. Yeah. Night Stalkers, another Fallout species, and a fairly uncommon one, which I feel like should be a bit more common just because Night Stalkers are really cool and you can do some really cool stuff with a Night Stalker character. In general, super cool. I've seen a lot of Night Stalker characters that I just absolutely love, and I want to make one at some point. So this is going in... Is it going in S+ tier? I think it is. Right in front of Lombaxes. Nimbats from Dust and Elysian Tale. Ooh. They're cute. I like them. Most of the Nimbat stuff you see is specifically of Fidget, but that's okay. Whenever I do see someone like out in the wild, so to speak, whose character is a Nimbat, I always have the reaction of, oh, hey. And I kind of like just point at my screen and go, hey, I know what that is. So I would say generally good. Unoffensive, good. Comes from a furry video game. Good. Would put them like maybe above Chocobos in S tier. All right, we are getting close to the end here, and I am absolutely destroying this 800 milliliter mason jar of water. Good thing I grabbed it though, because I would not be able to live otherwise. Opossums. I like them a whole lot in real life. They are absolutely adorable. They get too much of a bad rap. If memory serves, biologically, they cannot carry rabies because if memory serves, their body temperature is too low or too high. I forget. It has something to do with their body temperature, but opossums cannot carry rabies. Feel free to fact check me about that. And I would recommend fact checking me about that because I don't know that for sure. I just remember hearing that. All I know is people, when they say they don't like opossums or anything like that, they always mention them being rabid little like creatures of repulsive disgustingness, just because they're kind of like big rats. They're actually a lot cleaner than you would expect them to be. Their hands are weird. That is the most negative thing I have to say about opossums. Otherwise, I think they're great. They're adorable and I love them. As for opossum characters, there's only been like one or two that I didn't go, I like that. So I would say this is another S tier. Probably right in front of ferrets. Orcas. Orcas in real life. One of my favorite animals. Orcas, when it comes to furries, they can be really cool or really weird looking. It depends on how true to the actual like animal their body shape goes, and whether or not they make them like a dragon, like mixed with an orca. Orca dragons are super cool. I love them a whole lot. Specifically orcas, So I guess that would be probably mid B tier, probably right behind goo creatures. Otters. So remember how I mentioned I loved mustelids? There's a weird exception, and I don't know why. I don't like otters. I don't hate them. They're not like cassowaries or donkeys where I'm like, ugh. I do not wish for anything bad to befall otters, but I don't like them per se. So I would say probably C tier, right in front of centaurs. Also, since, you know, VR chat stuff has been brought up in this video, the otter, like avatar, spelled AWTTER, I hate that avatar so much. I don't know what it is about it, but just looking at it, it fucking infuriates me. I want to punch that avatar, and I don't know what it is about it. It's not like I have any negative inclination to people who use that avatar, because I haven't fucking played VR chat since those, like, VR chat species were going around. So I really don't know what it is about that specific avatar, but it just makes me angry. Owls. Good. Just generally good. Another bird. Another good choice for a bird. I like it a whole lot. Right behind Night Stalkers. S+ tier. Panthers, which I guess this would be a, like, blanket term, just because panther is a blanket term. But usually panther specifies a, like a sleek feline with, like, jet black fur. That's usually what people are thinking of when they say panther. So with that in mind, good. I like them a whole lot. As would be expected, because it's another cat. Very high. I would say right behind martins. Parrots. Parrots are one of the bird species that are, like, lower on my threshold of appreciation. I don't dislike parrots. I like them a fair bit. They're just not one of, like, my favorite types of birds, both in real life or when it comes to furry stuff. I have definitely seen some really cool parrot characters. So they're not gonna rate low, but they're not gonna rate, like, at the tippity top. So I would say right behind snails or huskies. Right behind snails, just cause snails have that added bit of originality. Phoenixes, phenids, I don't know what the plural is. On a whole, really good. Like them a whole lot. Can be made super, super cool. There's a decent amount of wiggle room for originality because there's a few different types of phoenix. I would say generally really good. Maybe right behind Lombax in S+ tier. Pigs. No. Higher than monkeys, but that's not a high bar to clear. I don't like pigs. IRL or furry stuff, I don't like pigs. My voice is killing me. I lost myself a little bit during the, like, mid-section of this where I forgot that I was going to try and keep these concise. I'm going to try and keep these concise going forward because this needs to stop. Plant creatures are good, can be fairly original depending on the type of plant you go with. I would say it's somewhere in S tier, probably above parrots. Plesiosaurs, another pretty original one. Loch Ness Monster is another common culprit for this. I would say because Loch Ness Monster probably, like, right here. Pokemon. Ton of room for originality when it comes to Pokemon. However, it seems like a lot of people just like recoloring Gardevoir for some reason. I would say maybe right behind Monster Hunter, just because it's slightly less original. Ponies. Mentioned a couple times, not my thing, don't really care, but, like, unoffensive. So I would say, like, bottom of B tier. Protogens with a cameo from my buddies Persona Synthwave. Good. I like them a whole lot. I really like Protogens. And I'm not just saying this because I know one, but S+ tier, probably just above Cobras, right behind Phoenixes. Pteranodons, another cool, very original option, and depending on how you approach anthropomorphizing a Pteranodon, they can be super cool. I want to put them not quite S tier, but, like, top of A tier, right behind Hydras. Raccoons, like them a whole lot, IRL and furry stuff, and every raccoon character I've seen, I have liked. There's probably a few in there that are weird and gross, but, you know, that's just how it is with, like, basically any species. Raccoons are going right behind martins. Actually, right behind panthers. Raptors, that's what it is. Raptors, the bird, very high up. Very, very high up. Nondescript raptor, probably right in front of corvids. Raptors, the dinosaur, also very good. Ironically, probably right behind, actually, yeah, just right behind real life, like, not real life, but bird raptors. Rats. I actually like rat characters a whole heck of a lot. Gonna be another S+ tier. Maybe right in front of jays. Right behind cobras. Rodents in general, I'm iffy about. Because there's very few rodents that I actually like, and there's quite a few rodents I dislike. So maybe like lower end of B tier. We'll put them behind the bat ponies. Okay, close. Sauropods. Yeah, I've seen a few sauropod characters that are super cool. They do have that same problem that giraffes have because they have the big long necks. It depends on entirely if you decide to go stylistic about it or if you decide to go like realistic or proportional. Maybe right behind foxes. Sea lions. I feel nothing. B tier. Sea slugs. They can be super cool, and there's a whole lot of room for originality there. Right above raccoons. Seals with this very, very round picture of a seal. Very similar to sea lions, but I do like it. Like just going off of real life stuff, I like seals more than I like sea lions. So maybe above elephants. Circles. I'm honestly not too big of a fan of the furry specific species. I'm not too big of a fan of circles. Behind bears, B tier. Sharks, 90% of them are hot, S+ tier. Right behind cats. Sheep, very cute, and I've seen a lot of sheep characters that I really like. Right above sea slugs. Shapeshifters, you couldn't decide on any one species, and I can relate to that. However, I will make fun of you for your lack of dedication. You can be pretty creative with like what their actual design is when they are not changed into something. So with that in mind, right behind goo creatures. Shrimp. I was unsure if shrimp characters actually exist, but they definitely do. I have seen a fair few shrimp characters that are like decently cool. So like right behind elephants, B tier. Skaven. Skaven are awesome, S+ tier. Right behind raptors. Skinks. Skinks in real life are adorable. For originality and for the fact that the real life animal is adorable, bottom of A tier. Skull characters. Much like hellhounds, they're going in S+ tier. They're awesome. Just behind Skaven. Skunks. Whole lot of cute, whole lot of fart porn. Don't like fart porn, but skunks are cute. Top of A tier. Saber-toothed cats. Abs-to-fucking-lutely. Right behind cougars. S+ tier. Snakes in general. We're going back to S+ tier. Cobras are here. We're gonna go right above owls. You know what? Fuck it. I like them a whole lot. Right behind raptors. Okay, right behind Skaven. There. Alright, I feel comfortable about that. Right behind Skaven. Snow leopards. A little bit overplayed, but it's for a good reason. They're great. S+ tier. Right behind protogens. Spiders. Generally good, and they can be made super cool and super original. Right behind the chupacabra. A tier. Spinosaurs. They're super cool. One of my favorite dinosaurs. I haven't seen one that's particularly made my eyes bulge out of my head yet, but they're cool. Right above Digimon. Squirrels. I hate squirrels in real life, but furries made squirrels like tolerable, I guess. So the top of C tier. Stegosaurs. I've actually seen a lot of Stegosaurus characters that are super cool, so they're going to be on the higher end of the dinosaur route. So they're going to go right behind Ankylosaurs. Stoats. They're great. I love them. Right behind Caribou. S+ tier. Siths. I understand the appeal. They're not my thing. Right behind hedgehogs. A tier. Tyrannosaurs. Awesome. Great. Generally badass in most descriptors. Right behind panthers. S tier. Tanuki. They're basically the same thing as raccoons, but I like them slightly less. So here we go. Right behind raccoons. S tier. Therizinosaurus. These things could be made super cool. I still think tyrannosaurs are slightly cooler though, so just right in front of raccoons. S tier. Thylacine Tasmanian tiger. Also dope. Very cool. Not a whole lot of them, but they can be super awesome. Right behind alligators. S tier. Tigers. Unoffensive and cool. Also a cat. S tier. Right above the crocodilian. Zombies. No. Actually, if that's you, that's specifically talking about undead stuff and not specifically zombie. With that in mind, the mid-A tier behind Manticore. Bearded vultures. Super dope. Right behind the snakes. Weasels. Adorable. Love them. Wherever stoats are, they're going right by stoats. Windy babies. I'm not saying the actual thing, but you know what it is. They're super dope. It's only like the quote-unquote real one that I'm actually afraid of. The non-accurate description with like the antlers and stuff are just super really cool. I would say probably right behind Ankylosaurus in A tier. Whales, excluding orcas because they're not whales. Like behind bears, B tier. Wicker beasts, my preferred of the VR chat species that I'm probably gonna make a character of at some point. Going right above protogens in S+ tier. Wolves, another overdone one, but a good choice. Right in front of Pokemon. We'll actually do right behind Pokemon. Wolverines, dude, they're cool. I like them a whole lot. Their mustelids here. Worm, spelled with a Y, like behind Ankylosaur. Xenomorph, not my preferred thing for furry stuff. The bottom of A tier. Yaks, as cute as cows could be made super fluffy. Here they are, right in front of cows. Okay. Oh my god, this was a horrible idea. I have been recording for an hour and a half. We finally have the definitive tier list. Oh my god. Got pretty hectic there at the end. No, I will not be going through this entire list and listing off every one of them like I did with my other tier list videos, but here we are. The definitive Persona species tier list that I have just wasted an hour and a half of my life on, and my voice is now absolutely raw and destroyed. As you can see, I have been very thorough with my choices, and I want this to be over. My word is gospel. This is how you... This is where you rank depending on the species you chose for your character. Oh my god. We're gonna keep letting this scroll just a little bit till we get to the top of S+ tier, so we can at least say, at the very top, for my Fursona species tier list, we have, in our top 5, we have raptors, the bird kind, hell creatures, including hellhounds, hellcats, and etc., saber-toothed cats, cougars, and harpy eagles. Oh my god. It has finally come to an end, and I can finally put this video behind me. This was so much more work than I thought it would be, and even then I thought it would be a lot of work. Oh man, I cannot wait until this has to go into editing, because that is going to be so much more simple. I'd imagine, probably. Depends entirely on if Snowy decides to get creative with it. Yeah, I'm fine. I have water. I just need to end the video now. Thank you. Okay. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider dropping this video a like. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to become a pup if you haven't already. A huge thank you to all of my patrons. I don't know how I'm going to do the Patreon thank you in this whole video. Snowy will figure something out. Oh my god. If you want to support me in the channel, consider becoming a patron for just $5 a month. You'll get a bunch of cool perks. My name's Vixie, and I'll see you guys in the next one.